Again, we want to thank you all for coming tonight. We're going to begin with Greg Vestal. He is the incumbent. And Greg, you're going to have to be alone tonight. We are announcing your opponent, Chris Cole, is at a funeral and was unable to make it. So you're the Lone Ranger. But what we're going to do is we're going to do just like we have for the rest of them. You're going to open up, give us a couple of minutes on why you are running for this. You are the incumbent, so why you want to keep your job, let's say. And then we'll ask you a few questions. Thank you.
My name is Greg Vestal. I am a current County Commissioner of District A, Position 1, and I am also seeking re-election. Just tell you a little bit about myself. I'm 46 years old. I went through both the city and the county school system here, graduated in 1997. Spent a little while not really knowing what to do nor what I was doing, so I went to TTC up in Ripley, completed that. I come straight down here to New Bern. That's what I do now. I guess the word that most people use these days is blue collar. And my voting record shows blue collar. It shows working, when getting your hands dirty. You go out, it's 110 and you're working for every penny. You want to make sure every penny is accounted for out of your house, out of your county. It doesn't matter. I have a daughter. Her name's Gracie. She's 13. She's in our county school system too. At the time, I didn't realize it, but I had a blessing. Mm-hmm. I've had Gracie since she was born. I've raised her. She's been mine. That's been something I could have never seen. Now, I couldn't have done it without some family members. They were a godsend, and she loves them. And if it weren't for them and helping me with her, I would not be here today talking to y'all. I would have her, but we wouldn't be near the position that we're in. All right, as far as why I run and why I do it, I hear a lot of people say, well, I love my community. I love my county. I think everybody in this room loves their community and county. I think everybody that lives here loves their community and county. And that's not discrediting what they say. They're telling the truth. But I think there's got to be more than that. I'll be honest, it's frustrating. There's always somebody telling you what you're doing wrong. And even though you think you're doing the right thing, you can't please everybody. It's impossible. So to everybody new coming in, you do the best you can. You're not going to make everybody happy, but you have to make the best decision for the people in your district as a whole, not what you want to do and not what one person does. The reason that I have decided to run again and stay in it, even though it is frustrating, is the people I meet. It happened today in Lowe's. The texts I get, the phone calls I get, the social media messages that says, Greg, I appreciate what you do for us out here. I appreciate you standing up, asking the hard questions. I know you get criticism, and I know you get bent over for some of that stuff, but it really means a lot. And that's what keeps me going, and that's what made me decide to get back in this again.
All right, thank you, Greg.
Greg, what do you feel you've done to best serve your constituents?
I've been honest. I've been upfront. I have been more than willing to stand up. I cannot count the amount of times I've been the only no vote out of a 20-member county commission meeting. Because in my heart, and what I heard from my constituents is, we do not want this. This is the way we feel. And when I walk in those doors to cast a vote, it's not about me. And it's not all about District A. What people don't realize, I'm a taxpayer. Everybody in here is a taxpayer. Every other commissioner's vote affects me as well. We're not exempt from taxes. I'm not exempt from taxes.
That's right.
So the way that vote affects me. So what I feel, just being honest, being up front. And again, sometimes that's not easy, and I'm not the favorite, and it gets rough. But I didn't get in this to shy away or back down, and I'm not ever going to. The day that I start doing that, then it's time for me to go, and I will not be back up here seeking re-election.
Yeah.
What considerations or discussions do you have prior to passing different types of legislation?
What kind of conversations?
Yeah, or discussions do y'all have?
How do you get to the decision that you're gonna say yes or no?
Most of it comes through committees. I mean, we have all these different committees. The committees have different people. Mm-hmm. Each of us serve on different committees. Some of us serve on multiple committees. For some reason, some of us don't get to serve on very many committees. Me. But it's through there. So even when you're not on a committee, you have to take it upon yourself to attend those meetings and learn what's going on. And most of the chairs of those meetings are pretty good. And if there's another commissioner there, they'll ask their opinion or if they have any questions. So when it's brought to the CLB, the people not on that committee, that's your opportunity to discuss, ask questions. Now, we get an email several days before the meeting, actually the week before, and we have what's coming up. So it's actually on us to research it on our own and to start asking questions then, not wait till the night of the CLB meeting.
Right. How often are you in touch with your constituents in your district?
Depends. It's odd. It comes and goes. There's been months that I haven't heard from anybody other than someone I see at the store,
right,
or in passing. If I see them, or I try to put stuff on social media, let people know what's going on. It really depends on what's being done in the county at the time. It goes from having 2 or 3 conversations every 3 weeks to having 23 conversations in almost 23 minutes, depending on what. And I will say the past year, it's been 23 conversations in 23 minutes.
Right.
So if you could step back just a second and say, what is if you could just name one, and I realize it's going to be hard to do, but if you could just name, what is the number one hardest challenge that you have to deal with at CLB?
The hardest challenge is you have to, after listening to your constituents, okay, and you get ready to make a decision. First of all, your decision should be based on your faith, your integrity, and then comes common sense. If you put those two things together, you got half the decision made. And I'm not talking about any other commission. I'm talking about there's a whole lot of people in this world in general that they struggle with that, and that's not anybody in ours. But if you can get those two down, it's walking in there knowing that I might be that only no vote, and I'm going to get looked at, and I know I still have to do it. That's a very hard decision. That you know when you say no, you're going to have people turn and cut those eyes, and they're going to stare holes through you, and you're not going to be the most liked guy in there. That's very, very, very hard to know, because you know it's coming.
Sure.
You see it beforehand.
Well, I want to just say a couple of things. Number one, I want to thank you for your service and tell you how much we in Dyer County appreciate your honesty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I think that's pretty much it. We're out of time. Thank you very much. You didn't get to, talk to your opponent, but we're sorry about that. But nonetheless, thank you.
Well, thank you for making it quick and painless. I was expecting that.
Thanks.
All right, next up we've got Mike Nicks, Wyatt Beavers. And normally, as we have, you've got a kind of a 2-minute thing or so. I mean, it can run a little, one way or the other, but you got a couple of minutes to basically sell yourself to the voters of Dyer County. We normally begin with an incumbent, but that would be neither of you. So so we'll just do it in alphabetical order. We'll start with Wyatt, and then we'll go to Mike.
Thank you, Chuck, and thank you, Mike, and everyone at home watching. Thank you all for tuning in. My name is Wyatt Beavers, and I'm running for County Commissioner, District A, Position 2. I'm not from this county. I'm from a small rural county in East Tennessee, but I chose to live here. This is where I chose to spend a lifetime. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Haley Beavers, and we have 2 daughters, Riley and Josie. We are proud members of First Christian Ministries, and we are active in the community. My dad told me at 14 years old that I would live in Dyersburg one day because I spent my whole childhood coming here, duck hunting. As one of the mayor candidates said, duck hunting is a big thing in this community. I spent my whole childhood coming here. Since then, I have moved here. I have started a family here, and I'm proud to be here. I'm a lifelong Republican. I can remember as early as 8 years old in the 2004 election with Kerry and Bush kicking and screaming in the back of my mom's car because she wanted to vote for John Kerry. She turns out she voted for Bush. She's been a Republican the rest of my life. I'm proud to be standing in front of y'all, and I want to be a voice for my community. I want to be transparent with the community, and I would humbly ask for your vote and your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Wyatt. Mike?
Yeah, my name is Mike Nicks, and I am running for Commissioner of District A, Position 2. First of all, I want to say that I'm a man that has been blessed 1,000 times over, and my family is all from here. I have a loving wife, Emily, that I've had the privilege of being married to for 25 years now, and we have 2 wonderful kids, Dyer and Jay Bless. And I do really appreciate your opportunity to run as one of your commissioners. My goals in our community are to grow and thrive as we should, and I will work with our mayor, our commissioners, and as well as our community members to make that happen. I was born and raised here in Dyer County. I've lived in my district over 40 years. I've attended our district's local school called Hollis Powell. I went there through kindergarten through 8th grade, and just soon after that, I graduated high school here, and I started my own business. And with my parents' guidance, it grew. And a few years into it, I decided I wanted to go into my family's other business, which was property management. And so I realized I like building and remodeling things, and I got good at this. And so I said that I wanted to improve the foundation of this. And so the same thing holds true for what I want for us here in our community. I want better things. Not for just me and you, but for our kids and our grandkids and for their futures as well. And I know if we don't steward it well, we will lose it here. And I don't want that to happen. There's a quote by Antoine France that says, "To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream, not only plan, but also believe." Well, I do believe in the people of Dyer County. And I know there's nothing we can't accomplish together. Let's make sure that our path is moving forward with clear destinations so that our community can thrive. And my name is Mike Nicks, and I would really appreciate your vote.
I have it's a question for both of you, and Wyatt, I'll ask you to answer it first. There's a lot of talk about change needed in Dyer County. We need to change this, we need to change that. What exactly do you believe needs to be changed, and how would you go about implementing those changes?
Thank you for the question. Well, I think a lot of the change that people are wanting, it really boils down to they want communication. They want transparency. I believe a lot of people are in the dark of what's actually going on in the county. And that's one thing I vow to everyone is I will be transparent. I will communicate with everyone. I will talk to the people of my community. I will talk to the people in the county. And, there's a lot of things that, may need change. But I think more importantly, let's work on building the things that are already working. Let's improve the infrastructure that's here. And, and I think with that and being transparent with the community, you'll make everyone happy.
Mike?
Well, I think we do need change in a lot of things. If we don't change things, things do get stagnant. That's a fact. We have to look at what we're doing, see what we need to improve on. We have a great community around us, and we do have a lot of great things in plan, but we do need to change just so many things, the way we do business. And my family's had 3 of those businesses here right in Dyer County that I've been a part of my whole entire life. And I've seen the ins and outs of it. And I can bring that to the table as well. I think, like Wyatt said, I believe that we do need to get out and talk to our community members, which I do know. I know a lot of them. And I've been a part of their lives all of their lives and all of my life. And with the community and ourselves as commissioners, I believe that we can make a difference, together, for sure.
Okay, what major issues, positive or negative, do you see the county facing over the next 4 years? What?
Well, I think, for one, I would like to see a more balanced budget. And like Eric Maupin said, we can build revenue into this county. There's so many opportunities that are being left on the table. And that creates an issue because there's a lot of things that we're just not doing anything about. Duck hunting being one of them. And I am a business owner as well in the duck hunting space. So I would love to help with that. I would love to, bring revenue into the county, and that will increase the budget. That will help the budget. And overall, that will make the county a better place, and it will bring people to us, and they will love this county like I once did.
Mike?
We'll say the question one more time.
Not once did, but when I started coming here as an early age, I heard that out there. When I started coming here in an early age, I fell in love with the county. That's what I meant by that.
What he was asking is what issues, good or bad, that you see going forward in Dyer County that you would address?
Okay. Well, we spend a lot of money, a lot of things. I've been going to the budget meetings for close to a year now. Mm-hmm. And I see us spending a lot of money, but I don't see any improvements. Our roads have potholes all in them. We have our taxes, seems like they're going up left and right compared to other counties around us. We definitely need to get into our books. We need to get into the guys that are ahead or part of these departments, and we need to get back to them and ask them where their funds are going. And we need to, as commissioners, I believe we need to sit down with them and discuss alternative ways to fixing it.
All right, guys, we're just about out of time. I thank you so much for being a part of this. Good luck. Whoever wins this Republican primary, obviously, may get a chance to do this again because they'll be taking on an incumbent, Mr. Larry Shalver. So thank you both for coming here.
Thanks,
and
guys.
Thank you for everything that you have done for our community.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next up, we're going to look at District C, Position 2, with Walter Wilkerson and Charles Benjamin. Both of these gentlemen are running for the position that Steve Moore held. He will not be running. So, do we have Charles here? All right. So if not, we're going to start with Walter Wilkerson. We're going to go with in alphabetical order. So we'll start with Walter. And give us a synopsis of why we should vote for you.
All right. My name is Walter Wilkerson. I'm 64 years old. I've lived in this county my whole entire life. I have a wife, Terry Wilkerson. I've been married to her for 35 years. I have 3 children, 7 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild on the way. I've been going to these commissioner meetings. I'm running for commissioner because I've been going to these commissioners meetings for a little over a year now. And at the meeting in August, they tried to raise the taxes for the 3rd year in a row. 3 of us concerned citizens stood up and opposed it and spoke about it. The tax hike failed. So immediately, they started, instead of going back and cutting the budget from the department heads the proper way, they cut the budget to try to hurt the people. They cut the volunteer fire department, rescue squad, and etc. The statement was made, the people asked for this, we're going to give it to them. At this time, I knew something had to change. I was not asked to run for this position, but I believe at this time, I was called to run for commissioner. We need a budget that works for our citizens, not a budget that our citizens have to work for. I want to be transparent. I want all meetings filmed and people to be able to come, get all the minutes, everything you can get. We've been getting a runaround about the minutes. They send us from one place to the other. We have several problems that are in our community, and if I'm elected, I will bring them to light and address them. Two major problems is the water problem. Water is a basic necessity to all of us. We all need clean drinking water. This has been an ongoing problem since the 80s. They've been kicking the can down the road. It's 28 miles of water line. It's a big, huge project. It will have to be done in a long-term plan so it does not break our budget. There's no one coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. The second is the ambulance service. Right now, we need to stop paying an outside service endless amount of money, like $1.5 million, to provide our ambulance service. We can take that same money, $1.5 million, and build our own ambulance service and get it up on its feet. And in 3 to 5 years, to give that $30 wheel tax back to our taxpayers. Term limits. I'm a firm believer in term limits. Our president and our governors held at that standard. Our local government affects our more of our daily life than our governor or our president. Longevity creates poor judgment. Another thing, on this board today, we have a lot of conflict of interest. We have people that work for the departments this board supplies money for and raises. It is a conflict of interest for them to vote for their department or their boss money and their raises. Again, my name is Walter Wilkerson. I humbly beg for your vote. God bless you and thank you.
Walter, I just a couple of things. You look at the last budget to where estimated revenue was $80 million, with expenditures, I believe, being $87 million. So
yes,
we're $7 million bad right there.
Yes, sir.
But if you look through there were bonuses and there were raises and this. I'm a small business owner. An hour before this began, I was in painter's clothes, okay? I can't come and paint your house and lose $1,000 on the job and on that same week give a guy a raise.
Exactly.
How do you go about changing that? What's your idea for changing stuff like that if you're not making money handing out bonuses and raises?
First of all, you can't give an individual 40% raise. That's just entirely unheard of. I think we need to sit down with the department heads, trim their fat as much as possible. I'm looking here at the new ethics, the code of ethics. Our last ethics update was in 2007. This is the 23 model. And line number 521 of 121, if they will implement that, that will stop your budget.
What does that say?
That will balance your budget. That is to prohibit direct purchasing agencies, members of committees, members of county legislative body, and other officials of the county, and the member of the Board of Education, and all of them from voting and opening the bids. Right now, the bids are open and private. They need to be open with the mayor. Right now, we are probably not getting the lowest bid, if you know what I mean.
Right.
And plus, go to your department heads and try to lower every cost they've got in there. Try to trim the fat, in other words. I've been running a business for 35 years. I've been fighting trouble for 35 years, and I keep it within my budget. It doesn't bleed over to my family.
It's good.
One of the things that you have mentioned that I've heard other candidates mention is transparency. You were talking about the transparency in the county legislative body. Can you be more specific on what you're looking at having done here?
Well, like I said, I've been going to these meetings for close to a year and a half now. I can attend the planning committee, the budget committee, and the CBL. The other ones, I don't know when they're held. Nobody knows. I don't. I can't find out. And plus, they're held during working hours where the common ordinary folks can't go. I'd like to see the whole CBL and all the meetings moved at once out to the new facility out there at the fairgrounds in the fellowship hall.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have plenty of room for the citizens of Dyersburg to come and observe. We would have plenty of room for y'all to film and put every meeting, from the planning committee to the budget committee to all them, on Facebook or on your YouTube channel so people can watch and see how your commissioners are voting. That's part of transparency I'd like to see.
Okay.
Walter, what do you think is the most important issue facing Dyer County that would benefit from you being elected?
Right now, my major concern right now, we've got several, but the main one is the water. We've got to fix our water. We've got to fix our infrastructure for our citizens of Dyer County, not just in my district. It's the citizens of Dyer County. There's two school systems in one of these districts. Our kids are going to school with this water, and that's not acceptable.
Good.
Thank you, Walter.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next up, District D, Position 1, Donna Hicks Cody. Cody Walker and Robert Kirby. How many of those are here tonight? Both? Two or all three? Okay, good. I was going to have to move in another podium that I didn't have, so we were going to do it off of a table. But anyway. Thank you guys for being here, and we're going to begin with you, Donna, if you don't mind. Just give us your, I guess for lack of a better word, your elevator speech for why you should be elected.
Well, my name's Donna Hicks, and I've worked for the city of Dyersburg for 35 years. And running for county commissioner, District D, Position 1. Been married for 54 years. That's dedication. We have 3 children, 6 grandchildren, 1 great-grandchild, although they're all great. And if you're a sports fan here, you know me from baseball, basketball, softball, now volleyball, a lot of balls. I've also running because I believe our community deserves strong, honest leadership that works for the people. This county's home where we work, raise our children, go to church, and I'm proud to be a part of this place that believes in hard work. But like many communities, we face challenges. We need responsible spending of taxpayer dollars, leadership that listens to the people, not just at election time, but every day. If elected as your commissioner, I think we should look at term limits, transparency, responsible budgeting, and being accessible. Again, the word dedication, I would be dedicated to this position. And yes, we should all be concerned citizens. We have an investment in this county if you shop, raise your children, and pay taxes. Together we can keep our community strong, moving forward, and be proud to say, I'm from Dyer County, you should live here.
Thank you, Donna. Cody?
Good evening. Thank you all for having me, and thank you for your time here tonight listening. My name's Cody Walker. I am running for Dyer County Commissioner, District 1, or District D, Position 1. I grew up here. I've lived here all my life. I've been married for 32 years, have 2 sons. We just celebrated my grandson's first birthday. I grew up watching my father, David Walker. He served District D. He instilled the sense of serving this community. As your commissioner, I will not answer to any political machines. You won't see me at meetings holding my head down answering texts from people outside my district. I'll only answer to the people in my district, and I will only vote for what the people want. Tax increases should be a last resort, not a first option. I am not voting to please the person to the left of me or to the right of me, and I also demand transparency. It's the only way trust can be earned. Term limits. Yes, I fully believe in term limits, like y'all have said. I believe that the longer a person is in office, the more susceptible to that person getting into corruption. I'm glad to see the new faces of people running, because that's the foundation of our democracy. Sorry about that. I do not agree with voting a certain way simply because of how a group's voting. I will not be influenced by the group. Just like my father served with honor and integrity, you can expect that from me. I'm humbly asking for your vote to support me in County Commissioner, District D, Position 1. Thank you.
Cody, I want to start with you.
Yes, sir.
Both of you have mentioned term limits. Are you referring to term limits just for the county legislative body, or are you thinking for all positions in Dyer County?
I would think all positions in Dyer County. The longer you're in something, like I said, I mean, it can lead to corruption. It can lead to just a lack of doing your job. Okay. And I think every 4 years or 2 terms, that let somebody else with new, fresh ideas get in there and take over.
What about you, Donna?
I totally agree. Everything. Term limits, 4 years.
So you do it not only with the legislative body, but everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to feed off of your answers a little bit on that. So you feel 4 years, and you should go on and
2 4-year terms.
2 4-year terms. The thing that concerns me about that, I'm not saying I disagree with you. You're going to tell Jeff Jones that he gets 2?
That is true. Jeff does a heck of a job. You're right.
and what I'm saying is, if you do that, you don't know who's going to go in there, who's going to take his position, and would it be any better?
I don't think anybody
So how do you
could
get
do a better
around
job
that?
than Jeff Jones.
Excuse me?
Right.
I said I don't think anyone could do a better job than Jeff Jones.
Right.
I totally agree. And so when it comes to term limits locally, that's where I question that. Okay, that's just where I'm coming from. Donna, what do you feel like is in your district the biggest issue facing your district?
Right now, we have a water problem in our district, and that's water pressure. We don't have the water DSCUD has. And I told you I work for the city of Dyersburg, so I'm very familiar. I work in the gas department, but very familiar with these issues. But we have to buy a pump. We're on our 3rd pump at my house. We've been there 12 years, and they're $1,000 each. So we have to have a pump on our water heater to put pressure into our house. They say we have the legal limit, but I've offered for Pam Mabry to come to my house and take a shower, and she won't do it. She says, we have the legal limit. But everybody out there, I had a petition going, and that's one concern why I'm running. We need somebody. I went door to door, and people would say, I don't know who my commissioner is. Well, they should know who they are, right, and they should fight for their district.
Cody?
Well, I'm on a well, so I have good water pressure. But I would say, when people have asked me about it, I've told them, you'd have to do the legal route to get a petition filed and go through the legal system, and surely there's something that can be done. I lived in the community there in Millsfield, and yes, it has very low water pressure. And I don't know what's holding them back from fixing it, if it's money or what, but a lot of people out there do suffer from low water pressure. That is true.
If elected, how accessible will you be to your constituents?
I'm here, like I said, 35 years at the city. I'm dedicated. They can call me anytime. A lot of people know me, like I said, I'm so involved in sports and my kids and grandkids that, a lot of people know me from that, and so hopefully they'll feel free to call me if they have a problem.
Cody?
Well, I've just now started up a new Facebook page, and I've never had one. But I'll be sending out postcards, and I have my number on it, and also the Facebook, and that way that I can always someone can always get in touch with me.
All right, thank you guys so much for being a part of this. I know both of you are trying to run to replace an incumbent who I think this will be. Is there anyone in the general for you guys? No. So I think this is going to be. This will be the race. Thank you all for coming. Did an awesome job. And thank you very much.
Thank y'all for your
time. Appreciate your vote, everyone.
Thank y'all.
Okay, we have a few that hasn't made it here tonight. We are going to just continue on. I think we're running a little bit early. If Doug Singletary, and I know Eugene Smith is here. I've seen him. And here's Doug. Which one's yours now? That's the question. We're about to get rid of the rest of them.
Yeah, good luck to you.
I'd like to wish you gentlemen good luck, and I'm going to start with you, Doug. You are the incumbent. Why should you keep your job?
Well, I'm Doug Singletary, representing District D, Position 2, born to the son of Julie Childress Moore, the late Jimmy Dale Singletary. I was fortunately raised by the two of the best grandparents, Don and Judy Childress. I have a beautiful wife for almost 16 years who teaches school in 5th Consolidated. Got a son in 8th grade. Got a daughter 12 years old in the 6th grade. Both of them go to county school at Northview in New Bern. I serve on numerous committees outside of County Commission, Fire Chief of Bogota, volunteer my time down there for the community. The reason why I ran back in 2014 was because of my grandfather. He showed me a lot. He gave up a lot of family time. And when he passed away, I decided to run to give back to the community that my family loves. Thank you.
Eugene?
I'm Eugene Smith. I operated a local construction business for over 30 years. I'm retired, and I'm running for Commissioner of Commissioner of District D on a platform of financial transparency, waste identity, and fraud prevention. I have found as many as 10 other concerned citizens who are willing to run as a unified front to topple the unelected powers and the selected few politicians we believe have lost the drive and desire to do the hard work of budgeting and cutting costs. I have never ran for office, and I don't know everything, but I can promise each of you with a clear outline blueprint, I'm real good at achieving goals. Paying taxes is considered a civic duty, and it's a key ingredient in the social contract between citizens and government. It provides citizens a legitimate voice to question government spending and demand transparency, accountability, and how funds are used. I want every dollar accounted for. I want a modern financing system for a modern budget and long-term accountability before approving any tax increases. I want county finances open to the public. If elected, I want to implement a combination of technology platforms, oversight structures, and policy reforms that are already proven in other Tennessee successful counties. We, the taxpayers, are in an important and pivotal election this year. We have created a citizen-led movement that has realized the unelected powers and career politicians have lost touch with we, the people of Dyer County. This is our time to return the government back to the people of this county and create a prosperous and successful future for our children and grandchildren. Vote for me. I'm Eugene Smith, and together we can make Dyer County great again.
Thanks, Eugene. My first question is for you, Doug. The growth in the county budget over the last few years has drawn considerable discussion among voters. Give me an example of steps you've taken to control the rate of growth and mitigate the impact on taxpayers.
Well, just this past year, during budget time, I fought against the tax increase. We went through there line item by line item on new money coming in. We funded what was needed, not what was wanted. And we can bring up the ambulance service. That's costing us quite a bit of money in this county. The reason is the mayor did not bid it out. It was asked, would you please bid it out? He dropped the ball on it. It came down to, we had to let them know in January of 25 what we was going to do. We didn't have an answer. March of 25, they come to us, worked the deal out with us. That was the only choice we had moving forward. Our hands were tied, and the commissioners are getting the backlash of it, when actually the mayor's office was supposed to bid it out. Thank you.
Eugene, you'd like to respond to those comments?
I'm not going to blame the mayor at all. I mean, well, he's to blame also. But I also look at these commissioners. They knew 1 year they were going to face this. Now, how did they let that drag through without 20 of them mentioning it? So I'm not going to put all the blame on the mayor.
Okay, Eugene. A lot of talk about there needing to be changes in Dyer County. What do you believe exactly needs to be changed, and how are you going to go about implementing that change?
Well, the change to me is we got, and I hate to say it, no, y'all don't want to hear it, but we got career politicians. I've said it. You know, you get compliant once you've been in there over let's just say 8 years. That's what I think's happened. Just like I just told y'all, they've lost the desire to do the hard work. And it is hard work. I mean, when you go to start, I look at it like we all have our household budgets. All right. We live within our means. That's where I stand on that. I mean, we got to get back to common sense approach. Tighten the belts. Look around, get these wants and needs figured out. The needs provide the services for our county. The change, like I said, is just basically we need a new set of eyes on it. We need a fresh breath of air. We need to get some young folks in there. It's new technology. Every day is growing. I mean, basically, it's an antique relic system running down there. We should be able to get on our computers and pull up our finance department, know where the grants start, know where they go, know how much. We ought to know a total revenue. We ought to be able to follow. Once the money's appropriated, we citizens ought to be able to follow that money till it hits the hands of where it goes. We're just, we need transparency. We need to get in the new era.
Gotcha. Okay, Doug, why should Dyer Countyans trust that you can get the job done on the county commission?
Well, I've been here, it's going on my 12th year, and through the years, our debt is lowering. Here, the early part of 2030, I don't know the exact date, we're going to be out of debt, Dyer County is. We've got a great group of citizens out there. I am not part of any group that's going to try to come in and think they're going to change Dyer County overnight. Term limits, you want to talk about term limits? 2 4-year terms. I've been on there going on my 12th year. It's took me 6, 8 years to learn government. Government ain't easy. But this group of citizens think they're just going to come in and change things overnight, and it's not going to happen. I'm here for the citizens of District D. It's sadly, but I talk to my constituents more than I talk to my wife and kids. That's how concerned I am with Dyer County, and that's why I love this job.
Eugene, what do you believe is the proper role of government in a community?
Let's say, I would say first thing is managing the tax dollars properly. Budgeting, holding people's feet to the fire. Basically transparency is my main thing. County finances should be open, understandable, and accessible to the public. Accountability, elected officials and departments must be held to clear standards. Independence, oversight must be free from political interference. Prevention, strong systems prevent abuse before modernization. Just like I said, a government operating under a 1903 charter with amendments must adopt a modern financial and ethical standard. That's where I stand.
Right. Doug, with the county commission where it is right now, do you believe that no changes during the election, Dyer County is going to be successful in 5 years?
Yes, sir, I do. Dyer County's a little over 200 years old now. The old saying is, if it ain't broke, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Dyer County's been prosperous. Dyer County's a good place to live. If it wasn't a good place to live, we wouldn't be here. This job ain't easy. You get criticized every day. You get criticized. Nobody can ever come up and say thank you. It's all criticism. I speak from the heart. I like to talk to people. I ain't no keyboard warrior. I ain't behind a computer screen dogging people on Facebook, social media. I just soon talk to you face to face on the telephone. My phone's always on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I serve the community of Pagoda as the fire chief, and I always serve the community of Dyer County District D Position 2 because the citizens are the ones that matter, not a group of individuals trying to come in to run the county.
Doug, you said that the problems get amplified, but the successes sometimes don't always. What is, in your opinion, would be the most success that nobody knows about that the county has done?
Probably the most success that nobody noticed is the county commission has consolidated some debt payments, lowered our debt payments, but we're actually paying it off faster. So that's probably, a lot of people don't know that. They go and blame this person, that person. Well, transparency. County government, any government is transparent. It's an open door policy. You go to any office head, you go to anybody. You can get any record you want. State comptroller's office. They come in, they check all your records. They check your budget. And if the state says it's fine, that's what they're elected for or hired for, the comptroller's office, then we're good. We got a balanced budget in Dyer County. We saved almost $350,000 this year to put back in fund balance. And the citizen group says we ain't got a balanced budget. We do. If you don't believe us, look on Comptroller's website. It'll show you we got a balanced budget. Thank you.
Eugene, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to, Eugene, go ahead.
Let me get to the brass tacks right here, y'all. In a county with a commissioner form of government, usually all power ends up in a small group, usually 3 to 5 people. Because of that, commissioners often fall into 2 broad categories. Majority aligned. They vote together. They support one another's departmental decisions, often come from the same political or social networks. Protects each other from scrutiny tied to rubber stamping decisions. Maintain the status quo intentionally or unintentionally. Now, you take an independent commissioner, here's the difference. A commissioner who is not part of the internal political alliance, someone who exercises oversight rather than rubber stamping, someone who is willing to ask questions, request audits, and demand transparency. No political identity, purely functional independence. That is where the county legislative body, that's where we're at. We've got two different kind of commissioners. It's time
Eugene,
for a
Doug,
change.
thank you. We're out of time. Thank you guys so much. Next up, we have District E, Position 1, Steve Reid and Steve Sartin. That's all right. That's all right.
How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Doing good.
I'm going to start with you, Steve, because you hold the job. See? See there? No, Steve Sartin, we're going to start with you. You are the incumbent. Why do you want to keep your job?
Well, I'm running for re-election for District E, Position 1. And Sabrina and I have been married for 33 years, all born and raised in Lenox. And our roots run real deep in Lenox and the Findlay areas. We're parents of 3 children, that Anna, Allie, and Audrey, and all the children are married to terrific spouses, and they all have chosen to make their lives here in Dyer County, because we have such a great county. I've been in several different businesses, but my main business is auto sales, and I've had it for 27 years and been very blessed to have that business. And most recently, I'm on the Tennessee Independent Automobile Dealers Association board. I have been serving as a Dyer County Commissioner since 2010, and I think experience matters with what we do. I mean, my daddy served for 22 years before, in the 80s and the 90s, with all these older guys that we talk about all the time that did such a great job. And, I think that means something, when you've got, stability and integrity. And I serve on several committees. In the Lenox and the Findlay communities, to me, mean the world to me, because that's where I've been my entire life. I know a lot of people down there. It's hardly anybody. They got to be an import for me not to know them. So it's, and I want to serve the people and make Western Dyer County a better place than what it already is.
Steve, why do you want the job?
First of all, I want to thank God for allowing me to be here tonight, and Mike and Chuck for this. My name is Steve Reid. I'm running for County Commissioner for District E, Position 1, which includes the Findlay, Middle City, and Lenox areas. I've lived in the Findlay and Lenox community most of my life. I attended Findlay schools back in the 70s. My children attended Findlay schools, and I have grandchildren and great nieces and nephews that attend Findlay school. I am married to my wife, Athena Reid, and we are active members of the Findlay Baptist Church. I've worked hard my entire life. I started out in the farming, then moved into the factory work. In 92, started work for the city of Dyersburg, and eventually worked my way up to superintendent of the water and sewer. In 2006, I started my own business and have built a successful career and future retirement for my family and myself. I am running this election because I believe in our district deserves someone who show up, listen to his neighbors, and make honest, responsible decisions. I deeply care about this community, and I'm committed to serving with integrity and accountability. I'm not a politician, but as a lifelong citizen of Dyer County, the record shows we definitely need change in local government. I am Steve Reid. I'm running for County Commissioner, and God bless.
Thank you, Steve.
Steve Reid, good to see you.
Good to see you, Mike.
First of all, you talked about the county being in need of immediate change. Can you be a little bit more specific about the need and what you would do to change it?
I think, Mr. Mike, is that we have to look at a balanced budget. We have to get that done first. Wherever the shortfalls we have, we need to work with that. There's a lot of needs in the county, and like I said, EMS service. There's been mentioned the water districts that need attention in the areas all over Dyer County, just not in my district, which DSCUD is in my district. There's a lot of areas there that we need to look at. Once I get in a position where I can look at it, that's my goals.
Steve, you mentioned, of course, being a part of the county government for such a long time. What is the hardest thing about doing what you do there? Hardest thing is not the right word. The biggest challenge of getting things done.
Well, I mean, you know, we bring everything through these committees, and you know, and sometimes you run against opposition, and a lot of these things that are brought before these committees is good things, good ideas, and you know, and things that really should be implemented, and you know, but you know, I'm very transparent, and I love when people in my district call me because I want to do what people in my district want me to do. I never want to veer off of that. I don't want to do what Steve Sartin wants to do. I want to do what the people that elected me want me to do. And I just, and just like that water problem that Steve mentioned in Findlay, you know, I've researched some of that, you know, and it's amazing how much money was out there for that. And somehow or another, Dyer County got missed about it. And, you know, and that should have been something that, I know that's not the county legislative body's responsibility, but they're our people down there. And it's 1,448 meters in that district, and they need some help, you know. And I think it's time that we help them, whether it's our responsibility or not, you know. We need to help them, you know.
What specifically can you do to help the people, the water situation?
I tell you, I pulled up to Springville, where my house is at the lake, about 3 or 4 months ago. This huge big sign sitting there, it says infrastructure grant, and it's got David Sawyer's name, which is the head of Department of Environment and Conservation, and it's got the mayor's name on it, it's got the state representative's name on it, and I figured out it was $4.2 million to redo all of Springville, okay? And I go back and read this, and it's been $1.3 billion has been appropriated to 95 counties for water infrastructure and drinking water improvements and conservation. Where did we missed that? I don't know why we didn't get it, because we got a need here, you know.
I was going to say, whose shoulders does that fall on?
Who's what?
Whose shoulders does that fall on that we didn't receive anything?
Who asks?
I don't know. I mean, I've tried to research it a little bit more to see where but I mean, it's just that's a lot of money when you say 1.3 billion. You know, some of that money should have come to Dyer County, you know.
Steve, what are you going to do to address some of the things that you want to get implemented as far as budgeting and transparency and things of that nature?
Can I talk about the water?
Sure.
Be fine?
Sure.
The water district out there needs some help. They need some guidance out there. I plan on, if I'm elected, we need to get a board together of commissioners or whoever to be the middle person for the people out at that district and for the customers out there. I have experience in the water district. I still have state license myself to run a water district. I think we're going to have to get together. I think it's 7 different water districts in Dyer County. There's like 4 rural water systems in Dyer County. And like Steve was talking about, rural water districts can get grants, and if we possibly missed out on it. The grant right now that they got possibly going to happen out there is just replacing the meters. I think they're way ahead of our schedule on just replacing meters. I think there's areas that lines need to be replaced before meters get replaced. Now, meters will generate extra revenue. But I think there's issues out there that needs to be taken care of before meters is out there. And I hope the plan to work with these people in all these 7 districts to come together for everybody here in Dyer County. There is possibly 2 more commissioners might come on board that has experience that like I have in this district, in the water, that could help Dyer County come together.
How do you fund that? Can it be funded through grants, totally grants, or?
If the district has enough money, which a lot of them don't, they go through the grant system is how they do that, Mr. Chuck. And that's where they get the biggest part of the money. Because you're not talking about a small amount of money. You're talking about large amounts of money here to correct stuff that hadn't been any maintenance done to it in several years.
Property tax, they've been increasing, and that puts pressure on homeowners. What concrete steps can you take, or will you take, to reduce that property tax growth?
Well, I want to make one thing clear. Last October 18th, I was not at the meeting. My third grandson was being born. I was at the hospital in Jackson, but I was a no vote. And I was not going to vote for no property tax increase. And I'm just like some of the other ones that spoke. We need to look for other kind of revenue besides worrying about property tax. And we did that with the wheel tax, where that shares with everybody. If you drive a car, you pay for, So I just think it's, I think we need to stay off the property tax for a while.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, being realistic, we know it's got to happen from time to time. It doesn't need to come up every year, I don't believe. I'm editorializing. I'm sorry. But
you worked in news.
Yeah. Steve Reid, will your vote on all issues come down to what the majority of your constituents want?
Absolutely. And you're talking about property taxes increase, the EMS service is a big stickler right now. That increase we had to have to do that. I think we need to look into that. There are several other areas that I have run across that's some waste in our budget stuff that we need to look at. I think, but just managing it a little bit better, our whole budget, I think we can save money for all Dyer counties.
Where do you see saving
money?
Well,
the EMS there for sure. Right now, I think it was spoke about a while ago. There's possibility that we won't have to pay the $1.5 million. It might be a possibility that we might have a profit there. I have talked to several different people that are knowledgeable about this, and this group is telling me we can make it run a whole lot better and more efficient and save the taxpayers and Dyer County money. And I think that's a part of the savings that we can see.
You're both successful businessmen in Dyer County. Steve, with your numerous business, you've got a skill set. How involved do you feel like the commission needs to be for some of these positive changes to take place? I mean, you've got to do your research. You got to get involved. How important is that as a county commissioner?
Well, I mean, you need to be involved in everything coming along. I mean, and listen, and listen to your constituents, and I've learned a long time that you can hear a lot, you can listen to a lot more and learn a lot more if you keep your mouth shut and listen. And and just like the western part of the county right now, I mean, I don't know a lot of us know this, but we had a new grain elevator open up down there last year that's owned by ADM and Ford Construction. We've had a lot of good growth, and every morning when I get up, I see 20 trucks lined up over at the Helena bulk plant. And I know I'm kind of getting off subject there, but there's, those are all individual business owners that are small business owners driving their trucks, hauling that fertilizer to all these different plants all over West Tennessee and further, and getting this Bungie Road project done. I mean, that's all that's revenue coming back into the county. That's what I see. I don't see it. I mean, I know they're going to prosper from it. All these businesses are, but that's revenue coming into the county, and Jeff Jones the other day gave us the actual numbers of, how many states we serve, how many counties we serve just because of that Bungie Road project. And that's, all that to me is really going to help a lot, and I mean, there's just other sources of revenue we need to look at,
Steve, how qualified do you feel you are for this position?
Mr. Mike, I used to be, like I said, the superintendent of water and sewer for 8 years. I've been to budget meetings. I've had budgets to take care of, and I had to stay within my budgets at the city. So I think that I'm very qualified for doing this job. I'm semi-retired. I'll be 65 next month. I've got time to step up and get involved.
You want to give a closing?
Well, do you guys have any one thing? I'll start with you, Steve Reid. Just one thing in closing for about a minute or so, and then I'll pass it on to Steve Sartin.
I just ask for everybody's vote. I mean, I'm going to do the best I can in my district. I'm going to be to help anybody that I can. I've been hanging out door hangers, and I've put my phone numbers on the door hangers I've been putting out. And I've had several response. I want people to call me. I want people to know what I'm running for. And I have nothing against Steve at all. We've been friends for years. So I think it's time for change, and that's what I'm running for.
Steve?
Well, I mean, I go back to my kids and my grandkids, and I want to see this place get better and better and better, where more and more kids come back here and work here and thrive and make good livings here. That's all a part about it. I'm expecting my fourth one in April. And your life changes when you see those grandkids come around. And it's just like things that's going on in this county. I never want to see Finley School close. I'd be an advocate for that. I never want to see Finley, because I don't know what that community would do without our school down there. Right. But just I always want to be transparent about everything that I do, and I will kind of close with my cell number is 731-445-8383, and anybody can call me anytime, and I'll talk to you. And if I don't know the answer, I probably know where to go find it. So, and that comes along with experience, and experience does matter in this job, because, we all work together. When we all work together, we get a lot of things done. And if you don't work together, teamwork, and it's just like building a team. When you build a good team, you're going to get response. If you don't, and building that team, it's not going to happen over a short time period. It happens over a long time period, so.
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it, and good luck. Next up, we'll have Jimmy Hester and Adam McGuire, if they are here. We're going to start with you, Jimmy. You are the incumbent, so tell us why you are continuing to run for this office that you hold.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jimmy Hester, for ones that don't know me. I'm honored to be here tonight. Past few years, it's been a privilege to serve as county commission. My roots in this community run deep. I'm a farmer. My father was a farmer. His father was a farmer. I attended Finley School. I attended Dyersburg High School, went to Dyersburg State, went to UT Martin. I farmed with my father when I got out of college. He retired. My two sons went through college. They came back. They're farming with me now. And I'm blessed to have my two sons with me. I've been married to my wife for 33 years, and we have 3 children, Reed, Connor, and my daughter, Anna Glenn. Service goes beyond the commission. I'm involved in lots of other things, whether it's soil conservation, Farm Bureau, Farm Service Agency, UTM Extension, Finley Community Group. I show up and work. Nobody can say that I don't work in the community. I'm there. When I first ran for office, I listened to my constituents. Of course, we have a big area west of here, and if y'all ever been to the B&B market, it's the center of controversy at times. Every day is what's going on, what's this. But we are blessed here to have county roads. We've got a great county road system. You drive in these other counties, you can tell when you hit the Dyer County line. There's a reason. We've all worked together. We've got a great road commissioner. I support the schools, and I don't never want to see Finley School went there. My mother went there, and my children went there. I support the volunteer fire department. For me, it's not politics. People says you're a politician. No, I say I'm a public servant. Anybody can call me anytime. It don't matter if it's in my district or not. First thing I say, have you talked to your commissioner? Yeah, but can you help me? I always say, yes, I will. And I want to see us move forward, and we are moving forward. In my area, we have the Discud water system, and we have some issues there, but we are trying to move forward and get something done. And that's why I ask for your support and your vote for re-election. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Adam, you're up.
Thank you all for letting me be here tonight and speak. My name is Adam McGuire. I've lived in Dyer County for 38 years. For about 34 of them years, I have lived in District E. My youngest child turned 1 this month. That is the reason I am running for Commissioner of Dyer County. Not just for my children, for every child in this county that doesn't know that they are dependent on us to make the right decisions. I want all the children here to be able to come back, to grow, to thrive here, to raise their families. I have nothing against anybody on this commissioner board. I like a lot of them. I'm friends with a lot of them. But I don't think a fresh set of eyes is going to hurt anything. If you'll give the right industry and the right entertainment, you will have growth in Dyer County. And if you have that growth, you can keep your taxes and your tags at bay and make them manageable for people. My name is Adam McGuire. I would appreciate your vote come May. I can't promise you the world, but I can promise you I'll do as good a job as I can, and to be honest, and if I can't, I'm not going to stay somewhere where I'm not needed. I'll try to help find a replacement to do a better job than what I'm doing. Thank you.
Jimmy, going back to the water issue, been on the commission for a while now, and you say it's moving forward. Where exactly are we on that water issue?
Well, let me explain something. A lot of people don't know the water system is a private entity made up of a manager and a board. They're the ones that make the decisions. There's 1,480 meters. We only pay for that service. It's up to them to make daily decisions. Now, could they have made some different decisions along the way? Yes. We're trying to get a grant at this time for some water meters that will improve metering and supposedly help with some billing. I'm all for that. When this money first came available back through the COVID money or ARC money, whatever you want to call it, I was sent down there to go with a wish list. Well, I left it 2 or 3 days. They said, come back and get it. I'm not sure, but I believe it was between $12 and $15 million. Well, when I laid it on a person's desk, he said, are you crazy? I said, no, I did what you said. So we've managed to get about $900,000 for them at that time through that money. And they are using it, and they're trying to make some improvements. But a 60-year-old system, you can't fix it quickly.
Adam, I don't know how much you know about the water system. What have you heard from your constituents concerning the water, regarding the water?
So I do understand that DSCUD is a private entity. I live on the dead end of a line. I have the worst water, and I'm on the oldest line on DSCUD at the end of Middle City. So I understand that it's private, but when does it come a time to where your local government says, hey, we've got to step in? And this is not a problem that just happened. This is a problem that should have been addressed. We should have had some prevention for this starting 15 years ago. This was overlooked by not just our county, but by our citizens too. But it has been overlooked by far. 15 years ago, this should have been addressed.
Jimmy, how important do you feel it is for the voters to know how you vote on issues?
It's important. It's public information. After every meeting, county clerk gets information out.
You think transparency is important?
We have transparency. That's just the new hot word, transparency. I mean, you can go to any office and ask for anything. It's public information.
Okay.
Can I answer to that?
Sure.
One of the first things that needs to happen if I can get elected, there should not be no voting on paper where you don't know how your commissioner voted. If we vote and elect somebody in there, we need to know how they vote. It should be a roll call vote only. Nobody should be ashamed of how they vote. If I vote you in there, I should know how you vote.
Jimmy, how do you feel about paper ballots?
That's fine. I can look a man right in the eye. I think they've tried. A lot of people have tried to intimidate the voters, and that's good. But it don't matter if I vote. Look at you in the eye and vote yes or no, or write it down. You're going to find out from the county clerk how we voted very quickly.
Talking about the voters, the last election Chuck and I did, there was less than 30% of registered voters that turned out. For lack of a better word, it was terrible. What would you say tonight to registered voters in order to get them out to vote for either you, Adam, or for you, Jimmy? And Adam, I'll let you go first.
I would say that now we are at a very, very pivotal time. There's a lot of attention now. There's a lot more people now in the county that are aware, and social media has made them aware of it. So I've always been against social media, but it's been very informative this time. You can't believe everything you hear. You can't believe everything you read, no doubt. But we're getting down to the nut cutting. That's where we're at. And if we don't do something now, I don't know how bad it's going to be. If we keep digging a hole, you're just going to get deeper. The first step is to stop digging. And if you vote, you stop digging.
Jimmy, about the voter turnout.
Okay, I was very disappointed. I mean, we've got fewer people making decisions for the whole county. At a young age, my grandfather told me this story. I've just read about the poll tax in the past. And my grandfather and another fellow that lived up the road, they couldn't pay their poll tax. So they had to work on the road for several days in order to be able to think. So in my young age and of now, and my children, I've instilled, you're going to vote. It may not be the way I want to vote or you want to vote, but we're going to exercise our right to vote for whatever we want. And I've always been an advocate for voting and turnout.
Okay, thank you.
One last question I would like to ask. I'll start with you, Steve. Or Jimmy, rather, sorry. I'm slow today. What is we've talked a lot about, and it seems like you guys get asked a lot of questions. There is so much out there, and I asked Doug this question too. There is so much out there that people jump up and down about. What in your opinion, do people not know that the CLB has done that has been good?
I'm going to blame it on people want to get involved. And I've encouraged people to run for office. If you want change, run for office. If you want to make a difference, run for office. And several of them had accepted that challenge that are here tonight. Is that correct? Yes. If you want change, vote it in. And I'll touch this on term limits. We have term limits every 4 years, but nobody comes out enough to make a difference. So that's what you got to do.
You mentioned Adam, growth in your opening statement. What specifically are you looking to help in the growth of Dyer County? What specifically would you do?
Well, our industry and entertainment's where we got to start. We've got the Mississippi River in our backyard. We've got railroad tracks coming through our county. We've got 2 major interstates in our county, and we're less than an hour from several more major interstates. And we've got an airport out here that can accommodate pretty decent-sized passenger jets and cargo planes. We have everything in Dyer County to make Dyer County grow. We've just got to find the right places to put it and the right things to do with it.
Thank you, guys. We're out of time. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And likewise, especially, I'm glad you touched on that, Mike. We really need to get out the vote. And again, this is so early. This election, again, is coming up so early, and so many of these things are going to be decided in this election on May 5th. So that's exactly what we want, as many people as can to come out and vote. Okay, next up, we have Debbie Bradshaw Hart. Her opponent, Chris Ham, has opted out. He called me earlier today. So
good evening.
Good evening, Miss Debbie.
So I guess in this case, this is a weenie roast, and you're the weenie. No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say, so do I have to do this the whole 15 minutes?
No.
Good.
You
no,
don't.
I don't mind.
You don't. But I want to. You have been doing this for a long time. You've been involved in the community for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Why do you want to keep your job? Because somebody wants to take it.
No, heavens no. That's not why I want to continue.
What I'm saying is somebody is running for your position too. So what do you want to do?
Yes, he is, and I'm sure that's what he wants to do, and that's fine because it's just what we do. If somebody's ready to take over the reins, then they have to run against the incumbent. I guess one thing that concerned me the most, well, let me say first, I've lived in my district longer than I can remember. I've raised my family there, Cole, Sam, and Jake, and I love where I live. I love my community in the courthouse district. I will tell you this, every vote that I have cast for the past 24 years, I have asked myself if this is the best thing for the people in my district and also for all the citizens of Dyer County, because it doesn't affect just that one area, it affects everybody, and you've got to take that into consideration. That is what my foundation has been all of these years, and it will always continue to be that way. I do not vote for what is politically correct, nor do I vote for what everybody thinks is popular. I vote for what I think is best for Dyer County, because running this county is more than just a picnic. We have so many things that we have to take care of. We have to supply essential services, also schools, and also the public safety, and those things are not cheap. So when it comes to being independent in local government, I'm that person.
Debbie, first I want to thank you for your many years of service.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. What is the biggest challenge facing the county commission right now?
The biggest challenge, I would say the EMS service. And there are a lot of things. People think that we need to go in business with the city. We need to go into business for ourselves. Well, the city of Dyersburg and Dyer County are two separate governments, and that's going to have a big undertaking for them to come together. I don't know that it's even possible. I don't know if the state would allow that. But as far as the county owning their own, you got to figure out how you're going to fund it first. And I have heard some people say that, okay, we have $18 million from hospital proceeds. That is true. But if it takes you $10 million and you take $10 million of that $18 million, you've got most of it gone. Then you've got to build a budget. You've got to have a budget that will run you $3 to $4 million a year. And the EMS people that I have talked to in other counties, because I don't just sit here and listen to everybody around here. I call the people that know what they're talking about, the Stephen Suttons in the world that are experts in this. And most of these companies, the counties that have these, lose money every year. So you're going to have this big department, just like the sheriff's department, and you're still going to run at a deficit. So you're still going to have to take the money out of fund balance at the end of the year. And the more you do that every year, it's going to go down, down, down. So it's just going to always be that way.
Can you see with the last year's budget, I believe it was estimated revenue at $80 million with
Yes.
$87 million going out.
That's right.
Okay. can you understand where the voters are coming from when they don't understand how you're going to give a bonus or a raise whenever you have that?
Absolutely. The difference or the problem that I think that the community has is that the way the report is done. Those revenues come in, that was for 25, and then the expenditures is money that is still in the school system that hasn't been spent yet. But those money has to show up as an expenditure according to the state auditors from the comptroller's office. So that's where it's misleading. I think the Board of Education has over $4 million, which would take up part of that $7 million. There's a difference of $1.3 million in the general fund, and also a $1.750 in the highway department, and those expenditures are taken over, so that's why there's the discrepancy in the $80 million and $87. That has been explained to several people, but I don't know if they just don't believe it or what it is, but that is the fact.
Do you think that would be wise to have that to come out at a meeting when now so many people on social media are watching, and it would be very informative to those people?
I don't understand what you mean, come out at a meeting.
Where people understand why we're 7 million bad, but we're giving out bonuses and raises.
We're not 7 million bad.
Okay,
I mean, those are capital improvements that are already in the budget. Now, I will say this. We can't just go in and take money out of fund balance to give bonuses. And most of these increases that I recall from last year on the 3 cents tax increase were to get our employees up to the level that other employees in other counties were at that time. There were a couple of them that were a kind of a big increase that got cut that night on the floor. But next morning, we had commissioners call and say, oh, we shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have cut that person. But they did.
Right.
Because they took our budget that we recommended. Now, you have to understand, our budget committee makes these recommendations. We work hours on these budgets. We go through line item by line item. The elected officials come in there before us. And we have done this for years. But experience brings knowledge. And we listen to all of them. And these other elected officials, they're elected by the people too. They're honest people. And when they come in there and they tell the budget committee, hey, you know, my people are not making what they need to make. And here's what the adjoining counties are making, or counties of our size. Then we think that it's a reasonable request for them. We want Dyer County to provide the best services we can at an affordable cost. And these things are expensive. Sheriff's Department, schools, it's all expensive.
Thank you.
You spend, you are the chair of the budget committee, so you make all the announcements and take all the hits.
Yes.
As far as that's concerned. But
That's right.
I want to ask you, you are given money, you guys budget it. I mean, you don't go out and make it. This is what we have. You guys budget it. What is the toughest part in the budget committee to come up with, okay, when you come to the legislature, because you said you spend lots of time doing that.
We do.
Coming up with, okay, this is what we recommend.
So you want to know what the hardest part is?
Yes. When
we have to suggest a tax increase for the reasons, whatever they are, whether it's the EMS service that we had to raise wheel tax. The thing about the budget committee is we all meet, and the committee process works. It works in Nashville, and it's supposed to work here, and every other community in West Tennessee and everywhere. So the committee comes together. The majority ruled that that's what should be done. And my job as the chairman is to relay that to the legislative body. And it's not a lot of fun, but it has to be done by somebody. And I'm the one that's there, and I have to tell them that this is what the Sheriff's Department has requested and all of these things. But I don't come up with those numbers myself. It's done by the department heads. And just like last year, we felt those requests were reasonable. We understand that the 3 cents tax increase was not popular, but at the same time, it was going to be a small increase of $15 to a $200,000 house. Now, if you own 250 homes, that's going to be different. But I would say the average person owns 1 home, so it's relevant how that it shouldn't be such a burden on the taxpayers.
Is there anything else that you want to share with us? We're just about out of time for this segment.
Sure. I would like to say something else positive, because I am not only just on the budget committee. Mm-hmm. When I started on the county commission in 2002, my kids were all involved in Dixie Youth Ball. My family, the Bradshaw family, and I, we worked hard out there. A lot of those trees you see, we planted. But when I came into office, Richard Hill was in the mayor's office, and he was like, "Debbie, the first thing I'm going to do is put you on Parks and Recreation." I'm like, "I've got that, I understand." And he put me on the Education Committee, and also I'm a big advocate of law enforcement. I believe in safety for our community and the people. So that's where I have been all of these years. And it's only been in these past 2 years when the CLB passed the occupancy tax that we have been able to increase funding for different things. And now the Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Committee, we are looking at hopefully getting some plan of action done, some business plans for the Performance Center. And hopefully when we get that plan of action, the business plan, then we can get some grant money from the state, because the state of Tennessee makes you do things. Whether you like it or whether you don't, they have mandates. They tell you what you can do, what you can't do. And if you don't check all these things off of the list, you're out. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way government runs. But I'm very proud to say that being on the Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Committee is a committee that I love, and I'm so looking forward and hoping that we can get this Performance Center going, and that will be such a blessing for the county to have.
Thank you, Debbie, so much.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks.
Thanks, Debbie.
All right, finally, we got one more tonight. Oh, sorry. Okay. We got one more tonight. We're going to look for Peck and Steve North are the 2 that are here. And I guess we'll start with you, Peck. You are the incumbent. You're wanting to keep your job. Explain to us why.
I'm supposed to tell anything about myself yet?
Sure. Sure.
Well, I was just going to say that I've lived here all my life, 65 of them, if you can believe that. I went through the Dyersburg High School system. My wife, Patsy, went through Dyer County High. Both of my girls went through Dyersburg High, or the Dyersburg City Schools. Both of them work here still in Dyersburg, and proud to have them around. To be involved with county government is my first thing to be involved in this county. I've been involved in it all my life. I've been on various committees, booster clubs, president of the Habitat for Humanity. I've always gave back. I'm a licensed funeral director and bomber. I've been in service all my life. I've traveled 35 years, recently retired with Clark Grave Vault Company. So I'm used to dealing with people and giving back. And when I get involved in something, I just don't show up for, say, a Monday night meeting. I'm going to be there for everything. If my peers choose to put me on a committee, put me as chairman, put me as president of something, I'm honored, and I try to bring things back to Dyer County. Right now, I'm president of the Tennessee County Services Association, which consists of Tennessee mayors, Tennessee commissioners, and Tennessee road superintendents. We meet 3 times a year. We always suggest our commissioners, if they all could come, be great. Some of them work won't let them. I know some people have said, why do you go to these meetings and spend county dollars? Any successful business sends their people for training. That's just what it's about. Every department has a line item of training and sending their people off to workshops. Since 2018, any of the new commissioners, there was a bill passed. You have to have continuing education, 8 hours a year. The first thing, if you're elected, you'll have to go to Murfreesboro in September for a 2-day seminar on county government. So you'll have Zoom meetings possibly at 1 o'clock in the day, and maybe you've got things you need to do, but you'll have to do that. It'll be approved by the state of Tennessee. I just love giving back to my community. I've done it 12 years, followed in good footsteps of Mr. Milton McGee and Mr. Bill Clore in our District J, and I'm just trying to carry on the tradition. And I'm going to tell you the facts. I'm not going to tell you something I don't know. If I don't know it, I'll find out the answer and tell you I just don't know it. But I enjoyed it, and I'm hoping to be voted in again. Thank you.
Steve?
I'm Steve North, and I humbly ask for your vote for District J, Position 2. I'm currently married to Sheena North, and I've been married to her for almost 47 years. I have 2 children, Brooke Earnhardt and Lacey Hudspeth. Lacey is an attorney here in Dyersburg and works juvenile services for Dyer and Lake County. Brooke's husband farms 8,000 acres, and she keeps the books for him. I graduated from Union University in 1978 with a degree in business administration and a focus on economics. I know how to balance a budget. I know how to read a financial statement. And I can tell you I've worked in some of the largest ag industry companies such as Bayer Aspirin, and I've managed large budgets for these companies. I understand one thing. I'm retired. I have time to devote to this job. I farmed in the bottoms for 35 years. I currently own 2,800 acres of ground, farmland, good farmland. We're blessed in Dyer County with 250,000 acres of row crop land. That's a good tax base to start with. I believe that to remain silent is a disgrace. People want us to shut up. I'm not shutting up. I'm going to speak the truth. Government does not create wealth. It steals wealth. Then it wastes it. If allowed, expect fewer jobs, lower investment, and a hollowed out economy. There are 21 counties in West Tennessee. Dyer County ranks number 5 as the highest county of property taxes in West Tennessee. My constituents are city and county residents, and if you add the city and the county together and compare them to other city and counties, out of 93 cities in West Tennessee, we're number 9. I'm telling you, that's not something that we should be proud of. Why have we got that? Because we've got career politicians who only know how to spend money. We need people who know how to cut costs and to save money for the county. We don't have a revenue problem. I can promise you we've got a spending problem. My opponent, the incumbent, has sat on the budget committee for several years. Why is this so important? The budget committee is the one that doles out all the money and determines who gets it. Also, I've been attending meetings since 2023 when I found out that there was going to be a large tax increase. The original recommendation from the budget chair was 25 cents. My wife asked one of the commissioners about the tax increase being so high, and she was told, if you don't want to pay taxes, don't own nothing. That's not the way a commissioner is supposed to respond. My opponent, the incumbent, has voted for every tax increase I've been to since 2023. Supported 17 cents and a $30 wheel tax. That failed. Went down to 9 cents and a $30 wheel tax. That passed. We currently have maybe the second highest wheel tax tags in West Tennessee. That's not good. We have plenty of tax. We need more industry. We have the Mississippi River. Why has Blytheville been able to suck off all that industry from Hickman, Nucor, and all those associated business, and we let that pass? I'm telling you, the water district, the loss of revenue on the river, and other industries is because we've had career politicians in place that hadn't done their job. They can blame it on the mayor if they want to, I'm telling you, the mayor ain't got no more power than I do. He answers to the CLB board. He can't even vote. So, push it down the road, blame it on somebody else, but the problem lies within the CLB board, and that's what I want to change. You deserve change. You deserve a new look. You deserve a new face on there. Career politicians is not what we need.
Thank you, Steve. Peck, would you want to respond to that?
Well, I just say you got two choices in county government when you're on the county commission. If the funds aren't there with the taxes, you're either going to have to raise property taxes or cut services. Where do you want to cut? We had an $87 million budget this last time. If you think about that, the sheriff's department, highway department, schools, and the ambulances is $70.5 million. That's a pretty good chunk. Now, where are you going to cut? We got to have schools. You're going to want an ambulance if you're on the floor. Somebody's coming through the window, you're going to want a deputy. You got to pay them. We can compete against every county. Everybody likes money. If they're paying you X amount of dollars in Crockett County, we may send a deputy through the academy at Donaldson, and then they come back, and then they go somewhere else. It's happened, and it'll continue to happen. We cut $280,000 out of the sheriff's budget this last go around. That's a pretty good lick. Since COVID, we don't know what a good price is. Everybody right now is facing gas at the pumps. Well, for example, you know what's costing you to fill up your car? We're having to fill up all the sheriff's department's cars, and we're filling up all the highway department's diesel. So our costs just increased too. We got to feed the people down at the jail. That's just the way it works. So you either cut services or you raise property tax. I go with the finance department, the CTAS, the recommendations, and we all usually get about 4 options on the budget committee. And we analyze it. What's going to be the best for all 35,000 citizens, not just 1 or 2 individuals out here, a couple of districts. We got to look at the whole county. So that's where it is. It don't matter whose seat you're in. It isn't like your check back at home, I guarantee it. I thought I could do some things when I got in there. State says you can't. You department heads, you talk about they're going to cut some department heads' salaries. You can't. It's mandated by Nashville, and the thing you can do about it.
Well, you just mentioned that the sheriff's department, the deputies are going elsewhere. How does their pay compare to other places? Are we losing them because of pay? Is that what it is?
I don't want to speak for the sheriff's department. We're right a little lower right now in some of our surrounding counties.
Okay. Sorry.
No, I'm sitting here. I sure am glad y'all are the last 2 of the night. This is not Memphis or Nashville or Los Angeles. We know each other around here.
Right.
Peck, I've known you for years and a friend, and to be honest with y'all, I mean, Steve's like a big brother to me, so I'm glad we're going to get this over with and get on down the road. But I agree with some of what both of y'all are saying. When it comes to the jail, why are we paying that bill? Why is that, to put on us, the taxpayer? You say we can't take care of 1 or 2 over here, but we're having to take care of all of them down there.
We do. We have to fund that jail.
Right.
It was mentioned earlier about the reentry program.
Yeah.
Some have had questions about the men's, and we're trying to get the ladies up and going too. The state of Tennessee, instead of taking the approach, we don't have the chain gangs no more. That don't work. Can't do it. The answer, they're wanting to rehabilitate, not everyone, but set up some programs, some faith-based programs in our jails to try to get some people out of these situations. If you had a son or daughter or grandchild, brother, sister, and they're addicted to drugs, and all you're going to do is lock them up, let them serve their time, and get them out. You as a parent, you're trying your best to get a child off drugs. If you can get them in a program, and then they've got a job, And they're giving back to the community because when they come out of the reentry program, they've paid their fines, they got a driver's license, and they've got a job, and they've got some money in their account. So we've had sheriff's departments from across the state come to Dyer County trying to see what we're doing. We went to Rutherford County when we started it, and that's Murfreesboro. They're a lot bigger than us. But you kind of earn credits to get from, I call it the new jail to the old jail. Probably not the right thing to say, but fortunately we did have a building there that we didn't have to build from scratch to move them over there. If we did not have the men's reentry program, 240 folks is what we house down here. We would be overcrowded. We would be shut down, not shut down, but the state basically be coming into Dyer County saying you're fixing to build a $30 million jail. That's our choices. If we didn't have the reentry program, we would be building a new jail, and that's not to say we won't build one anyway one of these days.
Steve, how do we change some of this that you talked about, going back to the property tax with us being ranked number 5 in the state? How do we change that?
And this county got $35 million in ARP and ESSER money, and in 2023, we still asked for a 17-cent tax increase and a $30 wheel tax. What I can tell you is there will never be enough money. They can spend it no matter what it is. I want to know what we got for it. I know we spent $3.2 million on the courthouse, remodeling it, $400,000 worth of furniture. Where's all this money at, and where's it going? Why are we one of the highest taxed counties in West Tennessee when we have more acres? Poor old Lake County's got 60,000 acres of tillable land to tax. We got 250,000 acres. We've got plenty of resources. We're just not utilizing them efficiently. And that's what we got to do. We got to increase the efficiency of the money that we have to use. And I can tell you, if you're going to do that, you're going to have to make a change, because we've got a coalition of board members that stick together like glue. You got 5 or 6 that run every committee and refuse to let anybody else on that budget committee. They do anything they can to stop them from getting on there. Why? Power, control. That's what it's for, and we need to change that. That's an embarrassment to this county. When I go to Madison County and I talk to my friends, they tell me $1 is worth 50 cents in Dyer County. I want to know why. I want the bid process put out. Instead of 2 people opening the bids and looking at them, I want them opened by the county attorney and someone present to look and witness that bid being opened, not 2 people in the basement.
Let me say this. Yes, we got $7.2 million from ARP and CARES Act. The 13, is that what you mentioned?
We got 13.8 for the city schools,
not the city,
9.8 for the county schools, $4,840,000 for the city of Dyersburg.
The county was responsible for 7.2. Anything to do with the schools, you need to talk to their school board.
Well,
a lot of this was non-recurring money, so we could spend it one time, and we gave it to a lot of nonprofits. I mean, you could go down to the courthouse and get the list. I don't have it in front of me, but it's kind of like winning the lottery. Everybody was asking for it, and they was just to do it. We had to prioritize it. One of the first ones that asked for it was the Fair Board, and they were one of the last ones to get it. But we gave them $100,000 out there on that gin at the fairgrounds.
Why?
They needed it.
They needed it?
Wait a minute.
We had gave to a lot of other people too, though.
I pulled a 501c.
Go ahead, Steve.
I pulled a 501c3 for that year. They made $178,000 profit, and they got $1,368,000 in reserves and cash on hand. And I asked them, why did you give it to them? They said, because they said they were losing money. I mean, you got to expect things. Those are all public records, tax records for a nonprofit. I'll pull them up on the internet. I got them on my phone.
Yeah, in fairness, I want to give him.
We gave to a lot of nonprofits, and I don't know their bank account numbers or anything like that, but we did. And our job as county commissioners is to provide services for this county. We have to give back. It'd be nice to sit down there with $500 million in our account. but it's not designed that way in government. We got to have enough money for some tough times and to balance a budget, which we do. Every year, it's a state law, you balance a budget. We're audited and the comptrollers sign off. So it's a balanced budget every year. There is nothing done wrong.
Steve, if elected, what do you see is the biggest challenge facing Dyer County?
Well, first of all, the continued every year wanting to increase taxes. Our people, I've talked to people in my neighborhood as I'm going door to door, and they're saying they're considering, they only live on Social Security checks, they're considering moving somewhere else because taxes are cheaper. We need to, that stifles industry. That stifles growth in a community when you overtax people. Nobody will go to Lake County because the tax is too high. And bless their heart, they have no tax base except for land. We have all the resources. We have manufacturing, we have the river, we have ag land, we have everything, yet O'Brien County's taxes are 22% less than ours. That's over $17 million off our budget if we were competitive with O'Brien County.
Peck, if re-elected, would you change anything, or you like
We've got a
the way
good
things are
thing
going?
going here in Dyer County. Not everything we've done is probably right. There's always room for improvement. You know, I try to listen to all the facts. I don't listen to all the noise. I represent District J. Be honest, they talk to you when you're out in the community. I'm going to speak for District J. We've got a lot of businessmen and women, business owners, CEOs of industries. They understand business. They know things go up from time to time. They've had to raise prices too. I don't like to raise property taxes either. If anybody knows me, I'm a little tight. Whenever property taxes go up, they go up on my house too. All the noise last time on the budget, they're going to raise taxes, they're going to do this, they're going to do this, your property's going to do this. Well, guess what? City of Dyersburg didn't raise taxes. County of Dyer does not raise taxes. Did your house taxes go up? It's assessment year. And if we're living in 2030, the next time we have the reappraisal, the state will reappraise your land again.
Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate your time. And that will conclude our night tonight. Once again, I want to thank all the participants here. Of course, thank you, Steve, for your work in coordinating all this. And we appreciate you being a part of this and watching our video. Thank you so much. And we will see you again sometime in June or July. Thank you very much.